Is antisocial personality disorder linked to childhood trauma? Antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, is a mental health condition characterized by a disregard for the rights of others, deceitfulness, and a lack of empathy. While the exact cause of ASPD remains unclear, there is significant evidence suggesting that childhood trauma plays a critical role in its development. Understanding the relationship between childhood trauma and antisocial personality disorder can shed light on why certain individuals develop this disorder and how early intervention may help mitigate its effects. In this article, we will explore the potential links between childhood trauma and the development of ASPD, and how trauma during the formative years can shape the emotional and behavioral patterns that define this disorder. 1. The role of early attachment in ASPD development. Childhood trauma often stems from inconsistent caregiving or attachment issues. Early experiences of emotional neglect, physical or sexual abuse, or the absence of nurturing relationships can significantly impact a child's emotional development. Disrupted attachment. Secure attachment during childhood is critical for healthy emotional development. When children are unable to form stable, trusting relationships with their caregivers due to trauma, they may develop insecure attachment styles. This lack of emotional bonding can lead to difficulty forming healthy relationships later in life, a hallmark of ASPD. Lack of emotional regulation. Children who experience trauma often struggle with emotional regulation. This can manifest as emotional detachment or impulsivity in adulthood, behaviors commonly seen in individuals with ASPD. 2. The impact of abuse on behavior. Childhood abuse, whether physical, emotional, or sexual, can have profound and long-lasting effects on a child's mental health and behavior. Research has shown that those who experience abuse in childhood are at a higher risk of developing ASPD. Learned behavior. Victims of abuse may internalize aggressive behavior, seeing it as a means of control or survival. This learned behavior can become a pattern in adulthood, contributing to the manipulative and exploitative traits associated with ASPD. Desensitization to violence. Children exposed to violence or abuse may become desensitized to violent behavior, leading them to view such actions as normal or acceptable. This normalization of aggression can contribute to the lack of remorse and disregard for others' feelings that are characteristic of ASPD. 3. Chronic stress and the development of ASPD traits. Chronic stress during childhood, especially when combined with neglect or abuse, can significantly affect brain development and emotional processing. Impaired empathy. Prolonged exposure to stress and trauma may impair a child's ability to develop empathy. Without the ability to understand or share the feelings of others, individuals may grow up with a diminished sense of connection to others, which is a central feature of ASPD. Emotional detachment. As a coping mechanism, individuals who experience childhood trauma may learn to suppress or ignore their emotions. This emotional detachment becomes more ingrained in adulthood, leading to difficulties in forming emotional connections and a lack of empathy for others, which are hallmarks of ASPD. 4. Genetic and environmental factors. While childhood trauma plays a significant role in the development of ASPD, it is essential to consider the interaction of genetic and environmental factors. Some individuals may be genetically predisposed to ASPD traits, such as impulsivity or aggression, and these traits can be exacerbated by trauma or adverse childhood experiences. Genetic vulnerability. Research suggests that genetics may play a role in the development of personality disorders, including ASPD. A family history of antisocial behavior or other mental health conditions may increase the likelihood of developing ASPD. Environmental influences. The environment in which a child grows up also plays a critical role in shaping behavior. A chaotic or violent environment may foster the development of traits associated with ASPD, such as impulsivity and aggression. 5. Treatment and prevention. Early intervention and therapy can help mitigate the effects of childhood trauma and reduce the risk of developing ASPD. Addressing trauma at an early age, through counseling or therapy, can help children learn healthy coping mechanisms and emotional regulation skills. Trauma-focused therapy. Trauma-focused therapy helps individuals process and heal from traumatic experiences, fostering healthier emotional regulation and relationship building skills. Early intervention can significantly reduce the likelihood of developing ASPD later in life. Key insight: childhood trauma, particularly abuse or neglect, plays a critical role in the development of antisocial personality disorder. Early intervention and therapy can help mitigate these effects and reduce the risk of developing ASPD.